I respectfully acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, the world's oldest educators and the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast was recorded, Darkinjung Jung Country, surrounded by the beautiful Booty National Park, Brisbane Water and Putty Beach. The land we learn, teach, play and walk upon always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Teaching is one of the most rewarding vocations, yet great teachers are burning out and leaving the classroom in record numbers. Welcome to the PDHPE and CAFS podcast with your host, Kel Bell. This podcast empowers busy New South Wales teachers of PDHPE, CAFS and HMS to teach with confidence, clarity and ease. I understand the challenges of teaching because I've lived them. With more than 2 decades in education, I've journeyed from classroom teacher to becoming New South Wales' trusted voice in PDHPE, community and family studies and health and movement science. Together with leading experts and teachers just like you, we're here to help you reclaim your afternoons, weekends and holidays through practical resources, supportive memberships and powerful professional learning. Ready to reclaim your time? Access your classroom-ready PDHPE, CAFS and HMS tools at thelearnnet.com/tools. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and let's chat about creating impact in your classroom without burning out in the process. Hello and a huge welcome back to the PDHP and CAFS podcast. I hope that you are having a really awesome day. It has been one of those terms, I think. The more teachers I speak with, they say that they just have been under the pump, and I'm pretty sure you probably feel like that as well. Term 2 is always so hectic, parent-teacher night, subject selections, reports, athletics carnival. I don't know why we keep jamming everything into term 2. Let me know if you guys have had some sort of solution, a light bulb moment, but I know it doesn't need to be like that. It's winter, it's the end of term, week 11. I think everyone is ready and raring to go. School holidays can't come soon enough. And if you're dragging your feet to the end, please keep going. Your students appreciate you. They might not say it, but they do. I know that a lot of you are looking forward to the winter holidays. If you're going skiing and if you like the snow, it has been a terrible, terrible start to the snow season. We are definitely not going this year unless something drastically changes. But we're just looking forward to some slow, taking our time in the morning and just, enjoying the winter. So today's episode is a bit of a big one because I've been having lots of conversations with HMS teachers about the CI and then CAFS teachers about the IRP. So IRPs are coming up at the end of the year if you're a CAFS teacher who often does it in term 4. A lot of HMS teachers have also decided to do it in term 3. And look, if you were to look back on your scope and sequence, I would encourage you to do it in term 2, get it out of the way. You have your end of course exam for year 11 in term 3. Don't push it all in term 3. I know there's quite a few schools who've done it back to back. They've gone CI straight into year 11 exams. Just spread it out. One each term, that's easy for year 11. And then my ideal scope and sequence for CAFS is just getting the IRP out of the way. It means that the kids are not having it hang over the holidays. I feel like when you do it in term 1, that just puts too much pressure on, under the kids and yourself. Get it over and done with at the end of the year. Then you can come fresh into a brand new school year. So today, like I said, is all about CI and IRP. And it's really funny when I first kind of started sharing about HMS because you, our community, our teachers said, Kel, what are you doing to support HMS? I remember Danielle saying it to me from Mercy College, I think Mercy College. Anyway, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I'm like, isn't it dancing? And then it's funny how life works. And then Dan, probably 12 months later said, Kel, do you want to take over pdhp.net? So here we are. And when teachers first kind of started talking about the HMS course, they're like, oh, the CI is so different to CAFS. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the same bloody thing. It's just called a different name. And I think a lot of PE teachers were like a bit reluctant to kind of put CAFS and HMS in the same box. But let me tell you, if you approach the HMS CI, like what has been done, tried and tested for years and years in community and family studies, your students are going to benefit and you're going to benefit as well. So today I'm sharing with you 5 things that you can implement very easily in both your CAFS and your HMS classes when it comes to research. So here we go. If you would love to write some notes, or if you're driving, maybe not. If you're walking the dog, maybe not, but come back to it. We also have our transcript underneath that you can have a look at. You can rewatch this. If you're on YouTube, you can, check it out later on. But the first thing I want you to do is be very strategic about the focus of your IRP and the focus of your CI. Now, time and time again, probably the last, I would say, 12 or so years for CAFS, I'm very privy to conversations and seeing things posted on social media, and CAFS teachers emailing me and messaging me on social media. And CAFS teachers say to me, "Oh, we're thinking about doing a topic on wellbeing." I'm like, "Well, it's too generic. It needs to be more specific. We're thinking about doing something to do with youth mental health." I'm like, "Is mental health even in the CAFS syllabus?" No, it's not. Our IRP and our CI need to be so explicit, and it needs to be linked to the course strategically. So for CAFS, I want you to sit back and I want you to make sure, does it specifically link to the course? That's the first one. For HMS, do the same thing. Do I have this pie in the sky idea, or am I letting my students actually choose our CI? You are the educator. You take front seat. You're the driver of this. I want you to take the wheel, take the steering wheel, and you make decisions about what you guys are doing. You know how the course rolls out somewhat. We're all kind of floundering together, I know that, but you know how it kind of rolls out. You know what the end game is. Your kids don't know. Don't rely on them to come up with a topic that's going to be specific. You're going to take the reins and you're going to be the driver of the topics that you choose for the IRP and for your CI. So for HMS, I want you to sit back and go, where are my kids' strengths? Is it focus area 1? And I know there are kids that are more like health inclined. When I worked in Sydney, All Girls Catholic School, Nagle College, we had, I would say, probably like maybe a 60-40 split. We had quite a few sporty kids and we had some who weren't that sporty. So if I was teaching in Blacktown again, I would go, let's go with health. We have a lot of CAFS kids who are very good at writing. Let's go with the health, the focus area 1. If I was up here on the Central Coast, I had the talented development class for PTHP. Of course, they were all like elite athletes, either representing Australia or New South Wales. And so if I was with them, I would be saying, let's do focus area 2, more training, sport, how the body works, that kind of thing. Have a look at who your kids are, and it might change from year to year, and that's completely okay. You can change up your your CI topic, as you do this. So look at your CI and look at your kids and go, what am I best chosen? Like, what should I be choosing for our kids that is best for them? So you're going to choose the topic, but you're also going to look at who you're teaching. So that's the first thing, be very strategic. The second one, and this kind of goes hand in hand, is please do me a favor and make sure your topic has connections to year 12. Okay, let's go CAFS. What I mean by that is that a lot of schools still look at, single parenting. Schools look at maybe young person's mental health and confidence and self-esteem or something like that, body image. Those type of topics which are more suited for PHP, not community and family studies. So my most strategic connection for you is to link to the option. This does 2 things. It first of all enables you to make strategic connections to Year 12 content so you can maximize your time in class. You can actually start the option a bit earlier. You can embed the option. You can really look at getting some awesome research that will help you teach the option. It will help embed content with your students. Making that strategic link to Year 12 has been the best decision that we made at Nagel, like at school. Our results completely changed. Instead of averaging like maybe 10 or 12 out of 15, our kids averaged 13, 14 out of 15. It really increased our marks because we introduced the option early. We connected it in our IRP and our kids flew. Like, I was so happy with that decision. And Jill, who I was working with at the time, who is a very experienced HSC CAFS teacher, was like, oh, I don't know about this, Kel. Maybe not this time. I was like, no, trust me. Our option results, they're the thing that's letting us down. If we actually start to be more strategic and include that option connection, our kids are going to do better. And they did. As soon as we made that decision, that one small tweak, we had our kids absolutely flying for the option. So I've now shared that same strategy with probably, I reckon, 400 schools in New South Wales, probably more than that. A lot of people have taken our IRP course, and by just making that strategic connection, you can maximize the kids' marks. And it's the same for HMS. We are very new at this. It's only been the second year. If we can connect to the Year 12 content more strategically, your kids are going to flourish. Your kids are going to thrive in HMS. So look at it, focus area 1 or focus area 2. What am I going to choose? And then go, where does this content in year 11 connect slightly to Year 12? Now, we have a resource that we provided in the HMS membership. I think I developed it maybe in May. I'm just getting it up in front of me to actually talk about. So we looked at focus area 1. We looked at linking to health-related issues for young people. I noticed that there was a connection to like that one health issue for young people. We actually connected it to injuries. We could then talk about that in Year 12 because in Year 12 it looks at examine one other condition in Australia using Australia's health and other health reports. So we said young people health issue, injuries, Australian health issue, injuries. Let's actually double dip there and make that strategic connection. So that's just one idea that you could implement for focus area 1. Then for focus area 2, what we did was connect it to, I'm pretty sure, biomechanical principles. We looked at training. We looked at quite a number of different things that we can kind of connect it in because you want to maximize your time in year 11. Every single lesson that you present, you develop, you plan for, we want it to be so strategic to connect to Year 12 content. You have 3 terms. And if you start HSC work and skills and don't kind of embed these things along the way in year 11, the kids aren't behind, but you're going to give them a massive leg up. So it's really important that you start to look at your CI and go, how can I maximize this opportunity to really go with that topic that will connect to Year 12? Now you're like, okay, this is great, Kel. Thank you. Thank you for this brainwave. But where are some resources? That's where our HMS membership comes in. We have developed a whole series of resources. This booklet I created, like super proud resource. Very happy with it. It connected the health aspect. I shared it with members, created an assessment task about it. That's the next one. But then also we looked at focus area 2. Anyway, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube or if you're on Spotify and ask the question, what does this look like? This is what I'm thinking. If you're a member, of course, send me an email and we can have a chat about it. Okay, the third one is to really look at your CI or your IRP as an opportunity to maximize skills in our courses. back in the day, when I first started teaching CAFS, of course, I made the kids do their own individual IRP. It took forever. It was like thousands of words. It took too much time. These days, and I've shared this with, like I said, over 400 schools in New South Wales, to be more strategic, they're going to do the process, but you don't actually have to mark them on the process anymore. Same for the CI. You don't have to mark the process, my friend. You just have to assess where you think is going to maximize the kids' results and their marks and their skills for the HSC. So if I were doing things in schools, like if I had a HMS class, which I'm so disappointed that I haven't actually got to teach HMS. I get to help you, of course, and your students. But if I had a HMS class, I would be going, okay, I'm not going to assess you guys on your collaborative, investigation, your approach, your process. I'm going to assess you on skills for the HSC. So hear me out. You're going to look at what are some of the skills that we need to prepare our kids for Year 12 content. And this kind of goes, like my philosophical, like educational philosophy, it goes against that because I don't always want to, relate back to the HSC, but you have to. Like, we're setting our kids up for success for the end game. We have to prepare for that. So I'll be looking at focus area 1, creating and generating a series of HSC or, exam type questions that the kids have to apply their content that they've learnt through their CI. Does that make sense? So looking at the CI and going, okay, I've either got focus area 1 or focus area 2. And HMS members, you guys can use any of the questions, like hundreds of questions we've written for exam practice, for exam preparation. Use a series of those and go, okay, this is the content that I want to get my kids to investigate in the CI. They still have to do it. It has to be 20 hours worth of coursework. You have to still do the CI and the IOB, but you don't have to assess. You don't have to assess either of them. Anyway, we'll get to that in a sec. So look at the HMS CI and go, okay, well, where can I be a bit more strategic? And do exam prep questions. Do like HSC style questions, applying the content that the kids have investigated in the CI. CAFS teachers, same thing. Go the option, or if you don't want to go option, go groups in context. Do not touch parenting and caring. It's easier. The kids do well. The kids know it. There's heaps less content. Trust me, I know, like I've studied this syllabus for so long. HSC marker, 16 years, 5 as the head HSC marker in New South Wales. There's heaps less content for parenting and caring. No one has said that out loud. So focus on definitely the option. That would be my choice. If you don't want to do that for some unknown reason, go groups in context. It's a harder one of our cause. So then go, okay, well, we're going to do the IRP, but how can we make more strategic connections to the skills that the kids need to come away with and then, show in the HSC, in exams, in trials. So that's our third point, is to look at what skills and what questions can I actually assess my kids on related back to my research, either for the CI or for the IRP. Again, let me know, let's have a chat. Like, I can help you with this. And our members, you guys have all the resources inside our Google Drives at the click of a button to help you. If you're not a member, let's chat as well, and I can show you what this would look like. Okay, number 4 is the groupings. And you guys know, in yourself, some kids just don't gel with each other. So really setting up your research groups is really crucial. I would go mixed ability kids. That's what I would do. I would look at my kids and go, that person struggles to write. Let's, bring 2 or 3 people together who are of mixed ability. That student's a great writer. Let's put them with that particular student. By doing that, you're able to spread the load across the class. Whereas, don't make the mistake I made in 2019, I think it was. We had a group of kids who didn't come. I did this strategically, by the way. They didn't come to school. They were chronic offenders with attendance. they just didn't love CAFS as much as I tried. A couple of boys in there that were just like, they took CAFS because they kind of had to, they had no other choice. Look, they did okay. They got I think both of our boys got a band 4, despite being a whole class of girls. It is not a girl subject, but these guys just didn't love it. So anyway, that was a flop. That was a bad idea. We kind of then had massive gaps in our research. So I would be going back to my original plan of doing mixed ability groups. And it's funny that I say this out loud, that a lot of my HSC classes, or all of my HSC classes, probably from like 2006, were collaborative learning groups. They're cooperative learning groups. My kids hated it. They were in seniors and I made them sit with different people based on their ability. I didn't tell my kids that, but I used their results. I used their mark to sit them with kids who, they could either help or they could, help each other. Anyway, I'll be doing that for the CI and the HMS. So the HMS, CI and the CAFS IRP, mixed ability groups. Each group is going to have a different function to play in research. So, like, not everyone might do the literature review. You might have a group of kids doing the literature review. Not everyone's going to do the interviews. You're going to have a group of the interviewers. A group will do the questionnaires or whatever other research method you're going to use to maximize, the opportunities in your class. So mixed ability research groups. Research teams, I would call them. You're the head researcher. You're the leader in your class. Remember, you're in the driver's seat and you're going to guide and support your research team, and that's the kids. The last one is really about, I don't know, like just being very strategic with what research method you actually choose. I see a lot of teachers still still trying to do like an observation when you can't really observe something. You can't observe all these things. Or I see schools kind of sending out or doing heaps of interviews where they just don't have the man or woman power to do that. So really look at your IRP, look at your CI and go, what is the most appropriate research method that we can use? And of course, with research methods, we have things like sampling. So who are we going to do our research on? If I don't have access to, individuals or groups connected to my research, there's no way that we can do that. So you might need to do a heavy IRP or a heavy CI on secondary research, like other people's research, other case studies, literature, journal articles, experiments that have already been done. That's what secondary research is. And then primary research is firsthand. So the kids are going out, they're doing interviews, they're doing creating questionnaires and sending them out electronically. Please don't do old school pen and paper. It takes way too long to collate, and no one is doing that these days. Trust me. So maximizing the opportunities for collecting the data. Make sure, is our research method appropriate to our kids' context? Do they have access to groups and individuals of people that can be your sample? Your sample is who you're actually doing research on. And obviously it needs to be connected to your research. So look, that is a lot to take in. Like I said, I sit back from the syllabus and I can see it from a fresh set of eyes. I'm not in the grind anymore. I get to kind of see these things strategically. And of course, using our experience from the CAFS IRP, the mistakes that I made for years and years and years, for probably maybe 10 years worth of CAFS IRPs. I marked those damn things for 10 years and it took me so long. It wasn't strategic. I let the kids choose. Our marks were all over the shop. We had kids who would plagiarize, kids who would do nothing. This way, you have a bit more control over what your kids are doing in class. So let's quickly recap. We want to make sure our topic is connected to Year 12 in some way, shape or form. We want to be strategic with how we're going to do that research. We want to make sure our our method of how we're actually doing our assessment is going to set our kids up for success. What was the next one? We want to make sure that our research teams are dialed in, mixed ability, whatever it is. And then we want to make sure the research methods are appropriate to what we're doing. So if you have any questions about what this could look like in your class, please don't hesitate to reach out. Send me an email, comment below through Spotify or YouTube, and we can help you. It is going to save you so much time and energy and effort and stress if you sit back from the CI and the IRP and go, how can I make this more strategic for my class, for my kids? How can I maximize their skills to prepare them for the end game? And that's the HSC. So please reach out if you have any questions. If you would love to see resources, assessment tasks, we've done them. You don't have to lift a finger. You just have to go into our Google Drive for HMS and you'll have access to these. Same for IRP. We have scaffolds, we have templates, we have sample IRPs to look at. We have assessment tasks written for both HMS and CAFS. You don't have to lift a finger. You just get to create that magic in your class with your kids. You get to bring it to life. You get to make it more strategic. Like I said, HMS Summit is just around the corner. We can talk about CI at the HMS Summit. And of course, if you're a CAFS teacher, at the end of the year, we have our annual CAFS conference. This will be the 5th year in person, absolute magic. But that's in October. First one's HMS. So look, a thank you for everyone for a huge term. It's been massive. I don't know, we've made it to the end, almost there. We've got a couple of days left. But if you need anything from us, we're here to support you. And we cannot wait for your CI and your HMS classes to thrive and for your CAFS IRP to just be a bit more strategic next time. Thanks so much, guys. Have the best day. Take care.
This episode was brought to you by the K-6 Primary and 7-10 PDHP memberships, the CAFS Collective, and the Health and Movement Science membership. Our communities designed to support and empower busy teachers like you. Explore them along with a suite of helpful teaching tools at thelearnnet.com. If you've loved today's episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a colleague, take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at kellybell.coach. I love seeing what resonates with you. Make sure you subscribe to Apple Podcasts or Spotify to stay connected. And if you took even one thing away from today's chat, I'd be so grateful if you could please leave us a review. See you next week. Here's to finally reclaiming your time as a busy New South Wales teacher.